Hi everybody, Pastor Andrew DeGelder here again from Palmerston Christian Reformed Church with the 10th and final Heidelberg Catechism lesson for 2020. As we're heading into Advent and Christmas, we're going to be taking a break from these videos and lessons, and actually we're going to be changing our approach. In 2021, we're going to be doing something else for children's and teens church education. What exactly it's going to be, I'm not sure yet, but we will be changing our approach. But in the meantime, today, as we're following along with our schedule, we are looking at question and answer 45 through 48 of the Catechism. And that gets us to some pretty exciting theology. We talk about in those Q&As the resurrection of Jesus, the Ascension, the nature of Christ's presence with us, as well as the two natures of Christ, his humanity and his divinity. But what I want to do for today's session is to dwell on two words that are present in question and answer 45. And the first of those words is death. It's kind of a grim word. What comes to mind when I say the word death? Who do you know that has passed from this life? Parents, maybe you have stories about funerals or things that are associated with those. And maybe you have had death-like experiences along the way, things like the loss of relationships or jobs or the loss of physical or mental capabilities that kind of remind you of the inevitability of death. Well, death is a reality that we can't escape. And as one preacher once said, nobody is an unbeliever when it comes to death. Death is always kind of there at the back of our minds. We know that we can't escape it. And interestingly, Christianity does nothing to prevent our physical death. But what it does instead is it offers us the miracle of resurrection. And that is the second word that I'm hoping you will talk with your family about. Resurrection. We see a foreshadowing of the resurrection of Christ in Luke chapter 11 in the account of Lazarus. Lazarus was a friend of Jesus. We're told in that chapter that he was deathly ill. And so his sisters went and sought after Jesus. They called him to come over. They were hoping that he would heal him. Jesus did not make it in time, though. He had something else in mind. Rather than to heal Lazarus, he wanted to show the power that he had to raise the dead. He didn't enter the tomb when he showed up on the scene. Jesus didn't go into that place of darkness and loss. Instead, he who was the resurrection and the life stood at the doors of death and darkness, and he called out one of his own to new life. I believe that there's a powerful lesson about Christianity in that Jesus came not only to offer us comfort in the face of death and loss, but he came to raise us to new life. In fact, question and answer 45 of the Catechism states that we are already raised to new life in Christ. And that ought to give us a very, very different perspective on life and death. Well, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for being on this journey through the Catechism with me. This is Pastor Andrew DeGelder saying goodbye for now.